and welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sara.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're trying something new. You'll see that we're trying a lot of different new things. So you'll have to let us know what you like and what you want to see. We typically write mock Monday blogs, because we also have a blog, so you should definitely visit us. And so each Monday we take on a different ALA, American Library Association Youth Media Award. So this week we're talking about the Caldecott Award. Now the Caldecott Award is given to the book that is the most distinguished illustrated book of the year. And it's for readers birth to 18.
I think it's, I don't know if it's, because I know Newbery actually goes up to 14.
Let me look.
Because I don't know if there is an age limit, because graphic novels have won the Caldecott, because it's literally the award is for the art. But it's also, you also have to factor in the format of the book, and you have to factor in like how the book was set up. So this is like how nerdy we are, because like we look through the book and we like look for like the gutter and like the lighting and the page coloring.
You've got to open up, like, so we get library books and you've got to open them up to see like what the actual physical cover looks like.
Right, because if you, like this one, no this one, because sometimes like under the cover, like there will be a design, but you also have to like be concerned, does the art get lost like here and that kind of stuff. But anyway, we should just talk about the books.
Yeah, it's just the most distinguished contribution to children's literature. Okay, so I wrote my list up based on what I chose throughout the year. So this is going back into February because that is after the time, because they announced the awards in January, so we get started real quick. And let me tell you, February is probably the most difficult month to find mock books because really it's flying blind. It's like you're flying blind. So,
well, and this year's been hard too because stuff is getting pushed back.
Right. I think we're going to have a lot of reading to do come the end of the year for mocks.
Yes.
And I think it might be a surprise this year because everything's been moved around. So, okay, the first one that I have is called Tomorrow I'll Be Kind, and it's actually the second book. It's not like a serious picture book, but it's in the same stylings as another book that she had written. And the author and illustrator is Jessica Hische. And in this follow-up to Hische's Tomorrow I'll Be Brave, the author explores positive attitudes that children can have in the future. This work focuses on the small and sweeping gestures that promote kindness and gratuity. The vibrant color speaks to the beautiful illustrations to come. The animal characters evoke classics like Beatrix Potter, and the arrayed lettering further actions brought forth through the text. This is a gorgeous book that I believe will be talked about through the year. I can certainly see teachers using them in the classroom, and I would totally want to hang up prints of this book on my wall because it's gorgeous, and the coloring is so vibrant. Actually, and for the first month, I chose 2 books. I don't know why I do that to myself, but I just couldn't walk away from this book because I really, really, really liked it. And it is called Just Like Me, and it's by Vanessa Brantley-Newton, who I love. I love all of her work. Like, she comes out with a book, and I fall in love with it. So she's really great. And so this is through poems, a little girl discovers what it's like to be a girl. And not all are the same, and each has their own interests and needs. And so I love this author's work, and I'm constantly looking for anything new she publishes. I think the mixture of textures in the illustration is expertly and artistically done. The pairings between pages create an inclusive environment. I love the colors and the wide-eyed wonder of the characters inside the story. It's gorgeous, and like even the cover is just a preview of the awesomeness to come.
Okay. My first book is The Oldest Student, How Mary Walker Learned to Read by Rita, Lorraine, Hubbard, art by, I'm going to say this wrong, Mora, who had already has gotten Caldecott Honor Awards. And this book is about Mary Walker, who was born a slave, and she lived for more than 12 decades. And it's about how her life has changed, and she lived through social change and war and having children and 2 husbands. but she never gave up on anything, and later in her life, she learned how to read. So it's really this like beautifully heartfelt book. So the thing that's incredible about Mora's art, because it is art, is she does collage. And the collages are bright and vibrant, but she also picks color tones that really mirror what's happening in Mary's life. So when she's going through a darker time, the colors are darker, and it's more of like bright when like great joyful things are happening, which is just wonderful. It's also really interesting because throughout the book, she used collage to show different book pages and like how much people actually read and how much words are present in your life and how that would really impact you if you couldn't read. It's just a beautiful book, and like I said, she already got honors once, but I really think that this one might be recognized too.
All right, cool. So my next pick was Away with Wild Things by Larissa Theule, and it was illustrated by Sara Palacios. So in this book, the main character, Poppy, comes alive in nature. She knows everything about the flora and fauna. However, being social with people can be hard. Using camouflage like her friends in nature, Poppy tries to blend in at parties and not let anyone notice her. When a friend from nature visits a party, Poppy finds her way out of hiding and begins to investigate. I love the personality of the characters in this book are just fabulous. Like the ways that the illustrator can convey kind of who these people are it's amazing and astounding and unexpected. I could imagine meeting these people in real life, and the depth of color is gorgeous. The illustrator is able to blend Poppy into her surroundings, forcing readers to lean in further and surrounds them with these illustrations. This book is a visual delight because you've really got to peer into these pictures, and your eyes are crawling over all of the illustrations, which is awesome. So that's my next pick.
So my next pick is called Hike by Pete Oswald. And this book is about a father and a child. It's kind of ambiguous if it's a boy or girl, who wake up early in the morning one day and they drive out of the city and they go hiking in nature. And it's just beautiful. It's a wordless picture book, which is often difficult to really convey a message, but the way that the illustrations are designed, it really moves the story along. There's depth and movement. The light in this book, the way that they show the light of the sun is gorgeous, and the way that they show the sun, use the lighting to show the changing time of the day. And that it's just really kind of like Sara was saying with the other book, it really just pulls your eye everywhere. There's a lot of just like beautiful technique that makes the illustrations look larger. Plus there's a lot of little tiny details that just kind of make it more alive. So you've got the images of all the like little details of the animals and the plants and the trees. It was just really a beautiful book. And he's a very popular author, but I don't believe he's ever won anything from the Caldecott committee, and I hope that they look at this one.
Okay. So my next pick is Nesting by Henry Cole. So this is basically a day in the life of a robin. So, more than that even. Robins bring in the first signs of spring and hope for warmer weather ahead. These hardy birds must work tirelessly to build a home for their eggs and keep their young safe. While it may be easy to see these birds around yards and in neighborhoods, their quiet tenacity is one that we should recognize more. I love the coloring of this book. Like, I still remember the coloring of this book. Actually, I typically love when illustrators create books that primarily use black and white, but then focus on key features with color. It's true. In this book, the color blue is important and draws the reader's eye to the blue eggs and the gorgeous blue sky. This work feels like a natural birding book. It truly provides details for the environment that robins exist within. I think this will appeal to older readers. The realistic illustrations will make it a solid book to use for learning about robins and their habitats. I can certainly see this being used in classrooms as well, and there are several programs that some of our children's librarians do that I could certainly see them wanting to use this book. So.
It feels very much like a classic children's book. Mm-hmm. And he has that other one, what is it called? About the paper bag, which is drawn, it's a different story, but it's drawn similarly, and it really, like, I think between those two, he's going to get recognized for something this year, I really hope. Yeah. I don't think he has before. My last book is called Old Rock is Not Burning by Deb Pilutti. I want to say it's funny because in the back of the picture book, she actually has like an illustration of how to say her last name, and so it says her last name, and then there's like a pea pod, a bag of loot, and then a cup of tea. So I'm gonna say Pilutti. I just thought it was funny. So this book is about how all the animals and trees in the forest think Old Rock has been sitting in the same spot forever, and they think that he's had this like very boring life. Well, it turns out that Old Rock had a very adventurous life, and they tell the story of things like dinosaurs being around and the Ice Age and once being a volcanic rock. This book is just like filled with like these beautiful, vibrant colors, and she does a lot with using stark white backgrounds or black backgrounds to really make the colors pop, which just was very beautifully done and really like pulls your eye to that attention so that you notice that. There's also a lot of different formatting changes where some things are like inserted or on an insert, or like some things will be framed with white whereas other things aren't. So it kind of just like changes the narrative a little. Also, there's a lot of playing with perspective, which really gives the illustrations depth, and there's a lot of details. This is a book about a rock where every character, rocks, trees, birds, all talking, have incredible expressions on their faces. It's kind of hilarious. Plus, the placement of the text is really fun, like where she chose to put the text. It reminds me of, what's it called, Bear Came Along last year, that won honors, where like the text really played a part into the way the story was told, and I feel like this one did it too. It's just a colorful, fun book that I hope, people spend more time looking at, and it deserves a little bit more attention. So that's our first round of Caldecott, mock Caldecotts. Stop back later. If there's a book you think we should read, let us know. Because of the corona and the way the publishing industry is, we're missing a lot of stuff this year. So let us know, and we'll see you around.
All right. See ya.
Bye.